Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This will be, I think, the second last installment in the Winging It journal. And this morning, I think sometimes life is just a series of cleaning up. You move from one pile of stuff to another. I've been doing that all morning and unearthed this unfinished on the bench. So this is the next cab off the rank. Now, I want to glue this text block into my cover. I sometimes use PVA, a slightly watered down PVA, but this morning, because I just can't be bothered to go and get that prepped, I'm going to use boils. Peel that off, and this is fast drying. It's very humid here, so be nice and, not to be too sticky. Now, one of the problems you have when you're gluing this in is holding all of this secure while you do each side and getting it centered, of course. So I'm going to clip my block together, but then I'm going to use a neat little trick I learned from Nick the Booksmith. And that is to take a paper clip, so this size paper clip, and turn half of it at right angles to the other half. And then you can use this. Just have to remember how to do it. You put this curved side of the turned piece into the center signature here and into the center of your book. So, line it up on the center. So let's see if we can do that. And then that will hold that firmly in place while you do this. So I have two of those, and I will do the same thing on the other end with this one. This one, if I can, a little awkward. I usually do this in my lap, but then of course I'll be out of frame. Okay, so slide that one down there. And then I can make sure I'm in the right spot. Before I glue. It helps if you have something to lean this wheel up against so that doesn't collapse over. Now I can see I need to wriggle it down, this way a little bit to get that centered, and then it's simply a matter of applying the glue. It doesn't matter if you make a mess here because we're going to cover this, of course, once this bit's dry. I don't know if you can hear the cat yowling. Q's in the studio doing glass, and Loki is outside the studio door begging to be let in. Okay, I'll just smooth all that down. Do have a glue cloth this morning. Now to protect that from the glue, somewhere here. Oh dear, I tidied up, didn't I? Just put that on that. Put my book over this side to press that down. And then come over here and do the same thing here. And after this, there's the fun of choosing the end papers, and I think I'm going to make a topper for the cover as well. Okay, so not very much of this will be seen in the end. Need a little bit more glue there, just around those creases. Changes in height. Okay, then oh look, that came off, but that's all right because we're in there now. Then I will put another book on top of this one, on top of this side. Oh, what have I got? Or maybe here, a box full of stationery. And just let those dry under weights so they dry nice and flat. I can probably release this because I don't want those to dent. There we go. And then when they're dry, I'll choose the end papers and come back and show you. Very simple, just a matter of gluing those on. Okay, kids, the glue has dried. The text block is in. This is always so exciting. I'm very happy with the way that these turned edges worked. I think that is a nice finish. I like it. Now comes the exciting part of choosing the end papers, which of course don't have to match. You might want to tone or coordinate the end paper with the facing page, or you might decide to add something over the end paper. So I'll show you a little selection of things that I've found, which I think will go. Didn't show you rummaging through my papers because my goodness, there's so many, and that's just the ones that are scrappy. These are little trifold cards which I was using to frame my little mini watercolours. But then when we were playing with oxides one day, I decided to see how they'd go on this. And when I dug this one out, I thought it goes really nicely with this first signature cover, all the splats. So I'm thinking I might somehow use that here, but of course it's not big enough to cover everything I want to cover. So first I will choose some end papers, and I have this, but it's ads, which doesn't really go with the idea. On the other side there are these, but I don't really have reds in here, so that can wait another day. This is obviously a Halloween thing with bats and pumpkins, but I kind of like the colour of it, and I think that would work quite well with each, even though it's not a Halloweeny book, but I do have the creatures on the front of each signature. On the back of this one, oh, there's more Halloweeny things. I could trim it and keep these bits, and actually that would work. Look how that pink picks up that pink. Okay, so that would take that section, and this would take this section. I might use that bit for the back. The other thing I found was this, another piece of oxided, I think this is 160 GSM copy paper, or maybe card. This has gone a bit wibbly wobbly from the oxide, so I don't think I'll use that as that. So perhaps I'll go back to this, and maybe I'll have, here we go, maybe I'll have my bats here. because I'm going to add this probably over the top. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, let's do that. So we're going to have bats on one side and the ledger on the other side. Now I need to measure. I think I'll cut the ledger first because I actually want this section that has the pink on it. Now, where your spine crease is here, we're coming in from that a little. Well, that's the way I do it. Now I need a pencil. And I want to mark just a little bit in. I'm going to cut to the inside of that line so I don't see the pencil. And again, for the height, about there. Now that's a bit tricky, isn't it? I might have to use my scissors to cut it out roughly, and then my trimmer, because I want to save this section for the front. Lucky for me, this has lines on it. Okay. Cut that to there and there. Let's see. Good. Okay, so I think I get my trimmer. This is where we find out how square our book is. I'll just straighten this edge too. Although, it wasn't bad. All right. So that's going to fit nicely on there. And I think I'll ink the edges. But I think I'll use archival ink so that I don't end up making a mess when I glue it in. To me, this feels, this stage in the process, it feels like you're dressing your book, ready to go out in public and be seen. And I really like it. I think it's so much fun. Okay, that will just be fine. And I want my... come back. I want my fungi book back here to support that. And I probably should have kept my big clip. Okay. Maybe I won't. I'll put like that. Oh, look. We'll see how we go. Now again, you can use PVA. My glue has burst its bubble. I'm going to use boils again because it's nice and fast drying. Make sure I glue the side I don't want. Pretty sure it's this one, right? And you want to put plenty of glue on here. We don't want this one moving. Sorry, little pumpkins and bats. I'm covering you up. Actually, using that, because the paper packs we buy have usually been more or less coordinated. So using the front and back of one page is an easy way to get variety that's going to work together. If you have trouble choosing your colours, that's using something that's already been done for you can really help build your confidence. I used to work in textiles and I did not have any colour confidence, and when Q was a young teenager I used to pay her. I was making these free motion scarves using scraps of yarn and water soluble Solvay stuff to machine over, and I used to pay her $1 a scarf to actually coordinate my colours for me because she had a much better colour sense. Probably still does. Okay, so that's going to go, that's my back. Now let's have a look on the front, and I do recommend that you measure your front and back separately, because I have often found that they're just slightly different, just different enough that if you cut your front and back covers the same size without checking, you'll be sad and sorry. Now I'm going to mark this side, and then it doesn't matter if I see my pencil. So here and here should do, and this time I think I can just go straight to my cutter. I think. Can I? Yes. I go this way. This way and that way. Now I've got two nice postage size scraps left. Okay, so of course, like that. Did I get it right? I might just trim a little bit more off there because I don't want it to catch when I open and close the book. And of course, now I've cut, now you know I'm thinking I'm going to use this side, but now I've cut it, I see that actually this side would work just as well. However, if I want to use my card scrap, that yumminess is going to look a lot better on this. So I think I'll stick with plan A. And I'll ink these edges as well, because you know it always makes all the difference. I do recommend using cardstock or something heavier weight for your end papers. Sometimes we use the so it matters which way up it goes, but I'm upside down, so there. Yeah, sometimes we've used the Japanese end papers that are heavier weight, and they look beautiful as well. But you know, you have to go over something that's going to work over these folds and not show all those dents, unless of course you want all those dents. Maybe you do. Okay, more glue. Sorry, lovely ledger paper. You're going behind. Don't change your mind now. Yep, that's the right way. I'm upside down. And just try and make it kind of even top and bottom. Give it a good going over. And then, hey presto, we have our end papers done, and suddenly the journal is looking much more finished. Okay, now I'll put this one under a book for a moment. What did I see on my desk? Ah, I found this. This is a little book I've made with 6x6 papers overlapped. To form a pocket, corners rounded, stitched on the machine with a bit of fabric over the top, and it's a little scrap notebook with a pocket, and I thought that was super cute. Now I'm looking at that and thinking, do I want these the other way round? But I don't think so. I think I'm going to put a belly band in here, and then whoever has this journal can slip whatever they like under a belly band. Alternatively, that could go there. Ooh. Maybe I want to leave that because, you know, you can write on this. You could have an index to your book on that. Okay. I've changed my mind. I'm going to make a belly band on this side, and I might use this as part of my topper. Ooh, okay. I like it when that happens. What I need is something here. Oh, not quite tall enough. Pooh. I don't think I want to use that either. Or do I? A section of that could work as a belly band, couldn't it? And it wouldn't matter then about the wobbly bit. Okay, let's try that. Okay. I like. Give this a bit of an...
That's weird, that's looking green, it must be picking up. Sure this is brown one. But anyway, green works just fine. So that could be a belly band.
I would just like a little something else. What have I got? Got an offcut of that, look.
Oh, that might do. I also had... okay, let's ink and paint. I like this bit. It's a bit longer. Yes, pretty right. It needs something else. What about if I glued that as a little belly band there, and then I could tuck a bit of something. Ooh. Okay, let's try that.
Isn't it fun playing like this? Plan A turns into Plan B, turns into Plan C. Okay, I'm going to glue these bits here. Try and get more or less the middle. This isn't even, I see now, but that doesn't matter because, you know. Alrighty, so that's going to go there. And then this one is going to go here. Got an evil little pumpkin face right at the bottom there. That's kind of cute. Or, I mean, anything really can tuck in there. Just put a little... a bit of card. All right, let's see. Ooh, it's going to be a tight fit. Ooh, I better let that dry a bit better first. Perhaps I'll need something smaller. But anyway, you get the idea. So something will be able to go in under there and in under there once this is all dry. And I think I'm going to leave this so somebody can write on it if they want to. Oh, I'm really happy with that. Look at that. Something that we oxided, I don't know how many months ago, has turned into just the right scrap to coordinate with all of this. And this pumpkin and bat paper I never thought I'd use is perfect. So there we go. The next step, of course, besides thinking about making a topper, is to fill this full of things. Oh, this often happens when I trim. This was a folded up piece of paper forming a pocket, But when I trimmed the edges, I obviously sliced through that. But that's okay. Might be able to make it work. Could turn it into a little surprise flip. All right, I can see there's going to be some filling to do in this, which is the other bit that I really, really love doing.